Blurry by Puddle of Mud from the Come Clean album of 2001. Geffen Records.
Yeah. Oh,
You like the intro song, do you?
yeah. Huge fan of that intro song.
There's so many ways I could describe the sound effects that just came out of your mouth. Like, let's play a guessing game, folks at home listening. Was Pat A, enjoying the intro song? Was he B, refreshing his breath after having some water? C, climaxing? Or D, all of the above? Text your answers to 1-800-YOU-GOT-SCAMMED.
I was just rubbing my junk after I shaved with my Manscaped buzzer.
Oh, our presenting sponsor, eh? Do you mention them? Yes. Glad to hear you're feeling good. Well, we're feeling good, feeling all right. A couple things. This is going to be a different episode today. Episode 19 is different. We got a guest today, Zach Fucale. We did an interview a while ago. We saved this one just for an episode like today. Reason being is, so this episode is being, I guess, going up on August the 4th, August the 5th, I believe. I right now, at the time that this is going up, am on a train. I'm going to be in the middle of nowhere, up in the mountains, somewhere with no cell phone service. I'm also moving because the season has started. It is time to get my ass to Sweden, and I'm starting off by taking a train ride from Winnipeg to Vancouver, skating for 2.5 weeks, and then flying over to Sweden. And moving is one of the most stressful things out there. And I told Pat already, I said, the week that I'm moving, I'm not doing the podcast. We're not recording anything. I'm not replying to any messages or doing any reels. Pat is 100% fully in charge of everything. This is Pat's podcast that week. Well, this week this goes up.
It's good. It's like when when the parents go on vacation and I'm just taking over. So the child is taking over the house for the week. You never know. There could be some questionable things posted on the Bizkit. When I'm slinging back biscuits, maybe on the weekend, I just get a little courageous. You come back to we got canceled. Maybe it'll cancel us. I don't know. I might get stupid. Maybe I blow us up. Never know.
It's like the substitute teacher comes in and people are like, you know what? Mrs. Grundler is really, really, really hot and cool. We should have her in more often. Mrs. Smith sucks. Stuff like that. Also, like you mentioned, I'm not checking the Bizkit social media. I'm not going to be checking much of my Travel Force stuff. All the videos that I have up for the week. I believe I'm doing 3 videos this week: Monday, Wednesday, Friday for the first time in a while. But I'm going to be off the grid because moving for hockey is probably one of the most stressful things. This doesn't get talked about enough. This will be a video coming up, by the way. But the idea of you're packing up all your shit, you're leaving your family behind, you're leaving your friends behind. For my case, my cat, my woman, all these people that mean a lot to me. Pat digitally, I'm not leaving him behind. We're still internet digitally connected. But you're leaving
the absence will be felt. I will be hurt.
Oh, you're full of shit. Quit blowing smoke.
No.
But it's really challenging. It's like you're turning one page in the book and you're just ripping it out and you're moving on to the next one. You don't know what's coming up. I think our guest today has a lot of experience with it. That wasn't really a transition, but Fucale is a journeyman, and I just want to enjoy my last couple of days in Winnipeg with my woman, with my family, with my mom, my dad, and whatnot. And,
Ooh,
yeah,
a little time
it's
with
good.
The Wombs. You're gonna be going a while without sex, dude. You don't even need the Manscaped anymore.
I can go full Amish. You know what? My woman's, she's really cool. We talked a lot about that, and I think she'll get picked up as a free agent way sooner than me after I leave. She's a great woman, great catch, and I'm blessed to have had her in my life for the past couple months, and hopefully she's single when I come back. And if she's not, well, we had a good run together. This is really sad. This is a sad episode, eh?
I'm crying, dude. For the people who don't see my face right now on the audio version, I'm crying. And the people who do see my face, I'm not crying, but I'm saying I'm crying.
If you're watching the video version on YouTube.
I feel sad. You're hurting my feelings here. This is like, heartbreaking shit. I used to deal with that.
But this is the point. You're giving up a lot of things. You're moving on to the next page. Pat, the first time you moved away for junior, for college, for pro hockey this upcoming season, you're going to be moving away. How far? We don't know. You might get dished around. You might stay with one team for the full year. You don't know. I don't know.
Who knows? No one.
Only difference being is that I'm on another continent where I can't call my woman up and be like, hey, drive down for the day. Like that's
you got 50, drive down for the weekend. Yeah, a little weekend rendezvous, or is that the word? A little weekend getaway.
Yeah, she's gonna get to the Vancouver, like right to the ocean, or to the Halifax, right to the ocean part. Be like, where do I go? There's no.
I'll be waiting by the water. I'll meet you at the border for a quickie. You fly in, border, fly back. You can't do that. You wish you could. Yeah, it's a little different. Like when I was at Maine and I was in that relationship, it was only 4 hours. You know,
Oh,
it's
that's more than
pos.
doable.
Yeah, but it's a flight. It's a whole flight over the pond, the big pond too, not the little pond.
Dude, we're talking a 2 hour flight to Toronto or 2 hour to Vancouver. We're talking a 9 to 11 hour flight overseas to Amsterdam, and then another 2 hour flight to Sweden. By the time you're all said and done, we're talking an 18, 20 hour endeavor. And I will say this for sure: when I flew over last year, and when I was over there, I felt so disconnected from home. But I also felt so connected because like FaceTime brings you close. Like I couldn't imagine doing this in like 2001, 2002, when you got to pick up a landline, spend $200 on a call just to call mom or dad for 5 minutes, and it's $200 for the call. Like FaceTime makes things really easy. My mom says she felt like I was never gone. I'm like, Mom, I'm on your phone.
That's sweet.
My mom is not very hockey informed, but she is a supportive mother. God bless her
Yes.
soul.
More than
She's.
enough.
I also have to say that because she's watching over my cat and also my plants, my recent plants I picked up. So I really hope she doesn't kill them.
You bought plants? You a plant guy?
I bought a big thyme plant, a big rosemary plant. I told her I needed her to make sure the cat doesn't eat it, knock it down, or
Okay.
piss in the pot.
So what? Now you care about decoration?
No, they're herbs. They're for cooking.
Oh, you bought them for her.
No. I bought them. I've been growing them the last like 3 months. I've used them
Okay.
for my cooking, my rosemary, my thyme. I told my mom, I'm like,
Oh,
I'm gonna give you these plants. Please watch over them. Don't kill them. Don't let the cat piss in the pot, or don't just
I
please
see.
protect them.
I see now. I didn't see, but now I see. I thought you just like all of a sudden you're like, for the aesthetic of your apartment, we're buying plants. I'm like, you don't even have a TV stand or a couch. You have a yoga mat, but you care about plants. Didn't add up, but I get it now. That's cool.
Well, I'm hoping the $4 I spent on the plants 3 months ago will pay off big time when I have this massive time plan when I come back in
Right.
April or March or whatever.
Be big, or it will die.
Dude, I think she's gonna kill it. I really do.
Yeah, she's gonna chop it.
My mom's never been good with plants, although she says she is. She's not, and I think she's gonna forget to water it. And then the cats are like, because my mom's got a big house of animals. She's got like 2 dogs now because 3 died, and she's got 5 cats. 1 died.
Holy
and the-
shit!
Dude, there used to be like 4 dogs and 6 cats. The cats will definitely piss in the plant and probably eat it.
Yeah.
It's good. That fresh French time is gonna be lemon time by the time I come back. But
Oh yeah, you're done.
yeah, but yeah, that's part of moving. You got to move on to one chapter. And I think, what? I don't know if you can relate to this. The best advice I got was from Steve McKeegan. You know who Steve McKeegan is or no?
No, sweetheart.
He was the Toronto Maple Leafs goalie coach that I've had in a lot of my videos.
Oh,
That guy, yeah. Haven't talked to him in a long time, but the best advice he gave me last year was that like when you get over to Sweden day one, you got to integrate yourself, get used to it, familiarize yourself with the local supermarket, with the locals, with the local bar, with just make yourself put yourself into the culture and don't try to make it like home because it ain't gonna be like home.
Yeah.
And it took me about 3 weeks to kind of settle into that. When I started accepting that, there is no Walmart. Maxi is the new Walmart. There is no McDonald's. Max is the new McDonald's. Everything kind of is the same name.
there is McDonald's, no?
But it's not the same McDonald's. It's very different, right? Like stuff like that. Like the women are going to be different. The culture is different. Like just accept it for what it is and try to embrace yourself or embrace it. And it made a big difference. It really did. Making going from I want to kill myself and jump off a bridge to this ain't half bad. I actually don't mind being in Sweden. And now I'm at the point where I can't wait to go back. I'm excited to get my life back. I'm excited. Yeah, it's a great place, dude. Like once I got used to it and I started playing for a team and living in an area that I felt like family and got comfortable with. It was the best place in the world, and it sucked because they cut the season short and they took that opportunity away from me because of COVID. But now I'm back. I got an opportunity. I got some big plans. Did I have the off season I wanted? No.
Big plans and big plants. You got a whole lot of things.
I'll have to buy myself some plants when I get there too. But I didn't have the off season that I wanted.
No.
I just started skating last week.
COVID,
Everything.
no ice.
But we're not going to make excuses. We're going to go and I'm going to try to have a good year and have fun and try to enjoy
Always
myself.
go with the flow.
I think it was one thing that COVID's taught everybody, hockey-wise, that enjoy the games, enjoy the practices, because when they take it away from you, man, does it suck.
Dude, life in general. Just fucking enjoy it and go with the flow. Go with the shots. Don't take it for granted. This has been a weird, unpredictable year.
I've been telling everybody this, even Pat. Like, could you imagine, like, if 2 years ago, Pat and I were sitting down for coffee at Starbucks in Boston. I said, you know what, Pat? In about 8 months, this is going to start happening. Pat would have said, dude, you are crazy. Like, the things that people say about travel online are true, right? They were right.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, this is the way that life is shook down, which unfortunate, but you make the most of it. Life gives you lemons, you make apple cider. It's just the way she goes sometimes. You got to make asparagus soup. But we do have to tell you about today's sponsor. It is our presenting sponsor before we get to this interview. Zach Fucale, good guy. I don't know if he's taken care of, though. I don't know if he's actually, getting down to the beards and the bees and, shaving himself.
Yeah, no, he can't be. No, he has to be now, though. We got to get him some codes. We got to send him some scapes and mans.
Well, we're going to give him the Bizkit code to get 20% off because guess what? This lawnmower, listen to this, folks. We did it a couple weeks ago. We can do it again right now.
Can you put it into my ears? Put it towards the mic. I need to listen. Really? Oh, yeah. Uh-huh. That's eargasms. Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
That
what
was
that
good.
sound is? That's the sound of love. That's the sound of sweet love being made. When you come home, you bring this home, you show your woman, or she gives it to you, either or. If you're a female, you can get it for your man as well. And you go in the shower, you scrub a dub, Pat's in the tub, you get the lawnmower, and she shaves you. I'll tell you this. My woman and I were in the shower the other day, and she says, God, you got a hairy chest. You look borderline like an ape out there. Let's fix that up. I gave her the lawnmower. She's never used a lawnmower on me before, I don't think. At least I can't recall. And she just went to town. No nicks, no scratches, a smooth shave job.
She knows her way around a lawn.
Yeah, and now I'm aerodynamic because I got less hair. I'm lighter on my feet. I'm feeling fresh. I'm on the feel-good movement.
Jimmy McElroy in Blades of Glory, when the aerodynamic shit's like blowing on him, he's like flowing. That's what this creates for you. We're like Avatar, the last airbender. We're the last hairbender. I'm on fire with these puns right now. I gotta write these down. Eargasms, the last hairbender. This is what a fresh shaven body and balls and junk does for you.
You're gonna write those puns down, you write those jokes down, you're gonna reuse them. You're also gonna reuse the lawnmower because it's got a 90-minute battery life. If you're like Pat or I, you can probably get about 4 to 5 weeks of trims on this thing. Beard trimmer, you're like me, you want to grow it out. Trim the beard, tape it a little bit. I like to tape it around the jaw, as you can see here if you're watching the video form of the podcast. If not, use it on your sack. Put it on the number 1. Use it on your gooch. Use it on number 2. I don't know, whatever you're into. And it works great. And Manscaped has a money-back guarantee. You nick your sack, you send that shit right back. And if you go to manscaped.com, you use the promo code BIZKIT. Bizkit, B-I-Z-K-I-T. You're going to get an exclusive 20% off from us. You're going to get free shipping. This isn't just free shipping to you in your backyard. International.
Yeah.
International. I don't know the exact. Yeah, I don't know the exact countries they're shipping to, but if you're in Ethiopia, you're in Finland, Denmark,
Hungary,
the Northwest Territories in Canada, wherever that is, you get a lawnmower, they ain't going to charge you for shipping, and they're going to send you 2 free gifts. The best of the best. Manscaped, thanks for sponsoring the podcast. We love you, and we haven't been happier than when we got you guys on board a couple episodes ago. So thanks to Manscaped for being the greatest company in the world to work for on YouTube and the podcast. Casey and Dom, we love both you guys helping us out. And let's keep it rolling, baby. On to today's interview. No co-host interview. Zach Fucale. Enjoy.
Just putting some salt on the steak, boys. Whenever I'm ready to eat, she'll be ready, and that's it. That's it. It just takes some time in advance to do it.
This is our kind of guy. We got to have him on more often. I already can tell. We got the vibes going, eh, Patty?
Oh, for sure.
I got the potatoes going, boys. Fire them in the oven. Let's go.
Yeah, I'm not a big potato guy. Just steak for me, boys. So, how you guys doing? Everything's good? Where are you guys at?
I'm in my apartment currently.
Oh, there you go.
As you can tell behind me.
The yoga mat, and that's it.
Yep. No couch. Primo gave him some shit. The first thing Primo got when he got an NHL contract was bought a couch. It was interesting.
Primo?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh.
So he was giving some shit to Trav for only having a yoga mat. He's like, that's why you're not getting girls.
That's good. I don't remember the first thing I got with my first contract, but it's a while back.
Not a couch?
I don't think it was a couch. Pretty sure it was not a couch.
You get your first pro deal. You sign the deal. They give you the first check or the direct deposit on the 1st and 15th. Like, there wasn't something that stands out that you bought?
Man, it's actually a while ago now, man. I'm getting old in this game, but no. Shit. I don't know. I I don't know. Did I get a MacBook for myself? I don't know. Maybe,
I like that.
but I know maybe in the summer of that year, I got a Subaru WRX. That was my first big purchase that I've done like in my whole life. Not kind of contract related in my life. That was it. I had a Subaru WRX, and guys let me know for a while. They called me Tokyo Drift for a while. It was pretty funny. But yeah, no, man, it was a nice rally car. I love that car.
What kind of engine?
It was 2015 Subaru WRX. It was a 2-liter turbo, really, really simple kind of. I didn't put any money into it or anything like that. I just loved the look of it. I thought it was sharp. So
Oh yeah, that's a common one. The car. I feel like people get some money and they're like, I need to buy a car immediately.
Usually, yeah. Out of junior, either your parents got you one, or you were relying on somebody else for rides. You know, like you're 16, 17, maybe 18 in junior when you get your first contract. It would be a reasonable one. It would be a reasonable one.
You ever think of just like filling up like 30 jerry cans, just stocking up on gas for that first purchase?
What's that? Sorry.
Okay, you know jerry cans, right? Like you put gas in when you run out on the side of the road.
Yeah.
I had this moment last year where at the beginning of the pandemic, gas prices just plummeted. Like I was filling up here for like 60 cents, 55 cents a liter
Loaded
here.
up for the garage.
Well, I thought to myself, I should get like 40 jerry cans, fill them up, and that way when gas goes back up to $1.20, I'll be laughing. But then I realized the amount of money I save, I'm going to be ended up spending it on jerry cans. So maybe that's not the best investment.
Maybe, I mean, either way, I think you would have been a winner. Either way, I mean, I think it's a good way. You know, you buy when it's low. Isn't that what they say all the time? I don't know.
Yep.
I think you would have.
You're investing in the future, I think.
Yeah,
or in yourself.
I wouldn't take
Investing in
advice
yourself.
from me, but I don't know. I think it's a reasonable thing to do. Anyway, yeah.
I think it's more so the liability of the guy with like 40 jerry cans chained to the back of the trailer hitch, dragging it down the road. That might be more of an issue.
Yeah. There's just
It's not
something
flammable.
weird about that. You like
For
walk in Trav's apartment and he just has a bunch of jerry cans filled with gas. You're like, this guy, I'm not gonna. First the yoga mat, and that girl comes in and sees a bunch of fucking gasoline things. You're like, no, I'm not going. This guy's not having it tonight.
Yeah, I don't know. That's would be a little bit strange. I agree.
Well, one of the questions that I was dying to ask, and I know we talked about a little bit over direct message was, and you're a year older than me, so you're a 95, I'm a 96, Pat's a 97. And I remember like when you were playing junior with Halifax and obviously with Quebec later on, there was so much hype around you about like, you're playing at the Q at 16, right?
Yep.
Or was it 17?
Yep. My first year was at 16. Yep.
So you're playing at 16 as a goaltender, starting in the Q. You know, you win a Memorial Cup at 18, I think it was 18 or 17.
I days after or when I turned 18. Yeah, so I was still 17.
Okay, so we'll round down to 17. You win a Memorial Cup. You know, you're the first goalie picked in the 2013 draft by Montreal, of all places, just a goalie hotbed for all those great things. You win World Junior Gold with McDavid, Nurse, like just absolute juggernauts of teams. Like I remember people saying at the time, like this guy is the next Carey Price. Like there's so much hype around you. And the question that I've been dying to ask you was like, how did that affect you? Like how did that play on your game as you as a person? Just all this hype all the time and pressure.
For me, it was I didn't really realize like the whole notion of hype. Like I didn't really realize that because I was just riding a wave. Like at 16, I'm getting there. I'm just trying to make the team, for example. Like I didn't even know how this was going to play out. So for me, I'm just trying to stay alive at 16 in the queue, and then I started as backup, and then next thing you know, I'm kind of thrown into being starter. There was an injury, and I played 60 games that year, and with playoffs and all that, almost 80 games with all these like the circumstances. And at 16, that's very rare that you played that many. So I was just thrown into that, and it went well. I played pretty well for that age and at that time, and we had a good team, and we went far in the playoffs. And then the very next year, I mean, after me, Nate, and Joe, and the rest of our team, Marty and Conrad Abeltauser, and man, if I go down the lineup, we had a pretty sick team. But the very next year, after us being so young and going deep in the playoffs, the expectations were really high and the standards were high. Not just the expectations of others, but like within our club, like in Halifax, the standards were real high, especially for that year. And yeah, man, I did well. I did well that second year. Our whole team did. We were just going through the league, basically, just winning games on and on and on. And for me personally, it was going well. And then we won. We won the cup. We won actually both cups. And like you said, I ended up being the first goalie picked. I mean, I don't have much control over who gets picked, who doesn't get picked. But yeah, there was a lot of hype. But for me, people ask me like, what was it like to be in Montreal and having all this pressure of being a French, French Canadian, Quebec born goalie to be drafted there. Well, for me, I didn't care about that because I was just so proud of being part of the Canadians. You know what I mean? Like that was my dream since I was 6 years old. So for me, being part of the Canadian, I was just riding that wave. You know, I was too busy being proud of being part of the Montreal Canadiens, the team I grew up kind of idolizing, to kind of put all this pressure and people saying like, how did you deal being or having that label, next Carey Price or whatever? I didn't really realize that at that moment. I didn't. Maybe looking back, I could see why that might have happened, but I didn't realize it in the moment because I was just too proud of being there, just being in the mix. You know what I mean?
You were just having so much fun in the moment. You're like, I don't really care. Like, I'm not even listening to that shit. I'm just trying to have fun.
Yeah. I mean, I can't say I didn't realize it because like I realized that there was a lot of hype, but it didn't affect me that much because I was just happy to be part of the Montreal Canadiens. You know what I mean?
Sure.
I was just happy to be there. And then my first year pro, I get pretty good opportunity to play a lot of games in St. John's and stuff. And I can't say it didn't go well. It went pretty well my first year, and we didn't have a great team there, but I mean it's life. And yeah, and then there was a lot of challenges came my way after that. But I do realize now that in my junior career, I was hit with some adversity, but maybe less than another. And when I did come to the pros, I did hit a lot of adversity, and that's where I had to learn a lot. And that's maybe where my journey had some changes in courses. And in junior, I had a lot of winning. I had a lot of experience. At 18, I might have had a really tough time in the playoffs where I didn't play very well, and that was some adversity for me. But overall, in general, my junior career went pretty well. You know what I mean? If we're being honest, there wasn't many challenges. There were, obviously, but not as much as when I turned pro. I was hit with many walls, and I had to learn a lot from that, and that's where my journey kind of took a different way than others. You see a lot of goaltenders being drafted a little like in the same area or the same kind of journey I had in junior, being put in the NHL maybe a little bit quicker. But for me, that's not how it played out. And I had to go through the East Coast. I had to go through some real tough times. I had to go through, call-ups, send down, up, down, and about, and three different organizations, and 4 now, geez, and here I am, right? So that whole notion of hype and all that, maybe in junior I didn't get hit with that much adversity, but when I did turn pro, I did have to go through it, and here I am now. I went through a lot of stuff, a lot of shit, man, a lot of stuff in hockey, and I'm happy I did. I honestly am happy I did, because now I honestly believe I'm way better than I was when I was 20 with all that hype. You know what I mean? With all that hype and that expectation, I feel by far I'm way better off now as a goalie, as a person, than I would have been without all this adversity I went through, and where I'm at right now.
You said in junior how you kind of, the hype would have been there. It didn't really phase you or affect you in any way. Were you, as you started, dealing with your first adversity and challenges, you maybe not getting the opportunity that you had in junior, were you able to have that similar mindset of it not really affecting you, or did you have to learn how to deal with it and you just...
No, I didn't have that kind of mindset off the bat, because after my first year, basically I almost had a starter role at 20 in the AHL. And then my second year, after 3 games in the season, or I don't know how many games, 1, 2, or 3 games in the season, I'm sent down already to the coast and with no return date. So that's where it really hit me. I went through some dark times there, brother, and that's true. And I've talked about this on other podcasts and interviews where it's like, I had to really look inside, man, and I had asked myself some questions about hockey, about my life, about some dark places. Like, Am I even going to make it? Am I good enough to make it? Like, why is this happening to me? You know, I played the victim for a while. This is not, you know what I'm saying? Like, all the normal things that could go through our head, I've been through that too. Like, we've all been through that. Talked to a few psychologists, mental skills coaches that really helped me. My parents, my family, you know, like, man, I need a lot of people to help me out because it didn't just come from me.
I appreciate you being open about that. I mean, that's something obviously that, like, when you hear other people go through, you know, that you're not the only one having the shitty period of time, and then the way you're talking so positively now, I mean, it shows that, you know, you've made so much growth, and that, like, that you can get to, like, that other side, you know?
Yeah, for a while I didn't think it would come to where I am now. For a while I didn't think it was possible anymore. Like, but persevered, man. I just stayed with it. I mean, I have great memories in Brampton of the team I was with, the wins. We had a lot of wins in Brampton. We had good teams, good people, but I had really tough times there, like mentally, of being up and down, and within the organization of the Canadians, like, where I was fitting, where I was going next. Yeah, it was pretty strange. And then moved on to Vegas, and then I moved on to another organization, and here I here I am, man. It's wild.
Would you think it's fair to say your entire junior career, and especially like maybe like early on in your pro career, you've been told you're the fucking man, you're the next coming of Carey Price, you're good, you're this, you're that, you know, being drafted, first goalie drafted confirms that, you win the Memorial Cup confirms that, all that stuff, and then all of a sudden, with all due respect, kind of nosediving,
yeah,
and now you're getting hit with all this shit left and right, and you're like,
yeah, man.
Was everybody wrong? Like,
that's
like,
true. Man, it's raw, man. You want to ask me that question? That's no problem. Yeah, at the time, you know, we talked about hype a little earlier. Like, all I saw was just support all the time. You know, just so many people encouraging me and all that, and it's just always going in the same direction. And then once I was hit with something for real, then I was like, whoa, like, no, this is not how it's supposed to play out. You know what I mean? Like, that taught me some pretty valuable lessons, like, in my life. You know, and it doesn't always go how you want it. It doesn't go as planned. You know, there's some famous quotes out there about being punched in the face and stuff. Obviously, you guys hear that, but not that I got punched in the face. I don't think I have. But you're absolutely right, Trav. Like, if I'm being completely honest, which I usually am, I'm usually that guy. I was hit with some tough stuff after being told I was really, really good all the time for a while, and those were things I had to hear. You're going to go here, you're going to do this, you're so good. And then when it didn't happen, I had some serious questions I had to answer myself before rebuilding myself to today.
Maybe almost denial of, like you said, you've been told you're so good for so long, and now you mentioned you're like, oh, this isn't how it's supposed to go. You know, a couple bad things happen, then a couple more, and then a couple more, and then you're like, holy shit, like.
I wouldn't use the word denial. I just had to deal with it. You know, there was some emotions I didn't kind of go through. I was frustrated for a while. Like I told you, I was really angry. I was actually kind of disappointed of myself for a while. But then, you know, things like the Spengler Cup happened to me, and those were nothing short of a freaking game changer for me personally and in my career, because at 21, when I was really going in a tough spot, Sean Burke calls me and he said, hey, we'd like to bring you to the Spengler Cup. And I played Spengler Cup from the East Coast Hockey League against KHL, Swiss League, German League, the top leagues in Europe. And I'm in the East Coast, and I'm 21, and I don't think, check my facts, but I don't think any other goaltenders have gone there from the East Coast League. So here I am, and I did really well, and we won. Right after a time where I was like really, really down, almost rock bottom, I'm going to say. So was that a real confidence booster and like a message that I could still do this? You know, I could still do it. Yeah, it was 100% a message to me, by hockey, that was telling me like, man, you still got game. You still got a lot of life in you. You could still win you could still play with the best. With some of the best players. And if you go back to the roster in my first Spengler Cup, like there's some pretty good players there, like Mason Raymond, Greg Campbell. Like there's some 6 players that I played against on the KHL team, on all these other clubs, on Lugano, Elvis Merzlikins. I don't know if you guys know that guy. Did I butcher his name? Anyway, Elvis, he's you know him. Yeah, and so the Spengler Cup, that was a message that I could still do it. It gave me a lot of confidence. And then I moved on to the next thing and I had a good playoffs and it's okay, well, okay, I could still do this. So from rock bottom, I had little victories, little wins, and those kind of accumulated. Then the very next year I got hit with another pile of, tough situations and up and down and we're not resigning you and all that. I was hit with another thing. And then I went back to the Spengler Cup and it went well again. And then I started accumulating little wins and I got more confidence and I kept going and I learned a lot about myself. And then last year, I got hit with some tough times, but then I kept accumulating a good season and I put all those things together, incremental wins, little small wins that would celebrate and give me a little bit of some swagger back and some confidence and just some belief in my system and how I play the game. And I went from a tough spot to just slowly climbing back. And I'd say I'm in a pretty good spot right now in my life and as a goalie.
Do you wish it happened differently, or are you happy with the path that it played out the way it has? Do you think you're a stronger person?
Do I wish I played in the NHL 50 games at 20? Yeah, I mean, for sure. Yeah. Do I wish I'd been playing in the NHL for 5 years? Yeah, I mean, would you? What I'm saying what I'm saying is yeah, maybe a different path would have been different for me, but like playing in the NHL at 20 or 21, maybe my path would have been totally different with the Canadians or the other organizations I've been on. That's not how it played out. That's really not how it played out, and I had to deal with a lot of things, and I had to adapt and overcome and adjust and learn, man. Those are some words we hear a lot, but I had to do all of it.
What I was just speaking from is like I've had like similar moments in time where it's been like really shitty and like shitty periods of time, and I look back at it and I'm just like, I'm grateful that I went through it because of where it got me as like a person. And I was just curious, like if you looked at it that way or if it was just more like, kind of in that view of it. But
on that note, like, yeah, absolutely. Like I'm happy in the grand scheme of things that it went down this way. I'm happy because maybe I wouldn't be the same as a person. I wouldn't have learned the lessons that I have that I went through. So no, yeah, I'm with you on that one for sure.
Question for you. You and I have a mutual friend who told me you signed in Europe last year towards the end of the year, close to the pandemic, correct?
Yep.
And they sign you, and then they say after a short period after that, they say, fuck it, they scrap up your contract, like, see you later, we found somebody else. And then you end up signing with Washington. Now you just re-up for 2 more years. Congratulations, by the way.
Thank you very much, sir.
Do you think that was a more recent turning point?
Yeah, 100%.
And can you go into a little bit of detail on that?
No, yeah. I had signed a contract in the KHL in Latvia, actually, and in Riga. And I was really excited. I thought this was pretty cool, change in hockey and arguably the best hockey league in Europe. I was preparing for it, training outside. There was lockdowns. I went to get gear at my gym. I wasn't supposed to. I might have broke a few rules here and there to train and get ready. But it happened the way it did. Like you were saying, they said, look, we signed other goalies. You won't be part of it this year. Thanks for that's it. So that's just the way it happened. And I don't know. I don't want to go too deep into that. I don't want to be too controversial or anything like that. It's just the way it is. It happened that way. And then a couple weeks later, I'm looking for another contract because I'm again a free agent. And I wanted to, pursue some opportunities in Europe. We were looking at Germany again, looking at maybe Sweden, Finland, stuff like that, right? I mean, just looking around. And out of the blue, my agent says, yeah, Zach, are you free tomorrow? Washington wants to get on a call. They want to discuss a possible contract. And this is no joke. This next day, I was like full. I had so much stuff to do. Like I didn't have much time and all that. But when my agent said that, he's like, you free tomorrow? I'm like, yeah, I got nothing. I'm free all day, man. It's all good. Whenever you want, I'm free. 8 a.m., I'm good, And so I got off the ice. I was just coaching with the hockey school Paramount, and we got off the ice and had a really good talk. And a couple of days later, we ended up selling on something. and I was really excited about it, man. I was back on an NHL contract, which I hadn't had the last year, and good situation. Great goalie coaches. We worked a lot in the summer in terms of video to get ready for the season that we didn't really know how it was going to play out, and I've done some really good work with those guys, and I'm really happy. I'm lucky to be part of the Washington Capitals right now, and I'm so happy to have re-signed for 2 more. That's awesome. So yeah, turning point is for sure 100%.
Man, and if I could say as well, style wise, what a turning point. You got one of the nasty setups in the Always Hungry right now.
Style wise, okay. Well, I mean,
The Brown setup, I like
the Brown
it.
setup with the Bears is pretty cool, and I just asked, I just threw a line out there. I asked the trainers. I said, "Do you guys think it'd be okay if I get some Hershey colored stuff?" And they're like, "Yeah, no problem." They didn't miss a beat, and here I was, kind of nervous, like maybe I shouldn't ask, and not be too needy or whatnot. And they were like, "Yeah, sure, we'll get you some gear." And it's been cool to have the brown colors for the brown jerseys. Is pretty dope.
I didn't get to say, but congrats on the new contract. That's awesome. I mean, and we'll be rooting for you. Good
Thanks,
stuff.
boys. I mean, I appreciate it, Trav. Thanks, guys. Patty. I mean, I just it's been quite a journey, man. For me, it's been quite a ride. But I like to share what happened. I like to share what continues to happen because I'm not the only one that went through this type of stuff. And there's going to be more after me, and there's just going to be more goaltenders that's going to be going through these things. So if ever there's something I could do to help out, I will, man. That's just who I am. And maybe when I was a little younger, I would have kind of kept it, kind of tried to suppress myself and not talk too much. But I am who I am, and I talk a lot. I'm loud, and I'm going to be myself, and that's how I like it. So I'm sticking to it. I'm sticking to that.
Love that.
I think one of the really interesting takeaways was that he really wasn't offended by when we called him an NHL bust. Like, he was very honest, humbled, and straightforward about the whole situation, to be quite frank.
Did you call him a bust right to his grill?
I think I did call him a bust, if I'm remembering the interview correctly. I haven't heard it in a while, to be honest.
If we didn't, then he listens to this right after the interview. It's like, I think he's good with me calling him bust. Fuck. I thought it was cool. He was pretty open about his struggle of, I guess you could call it a bust, being the struggle of getting drafted high, whatever, and then just bouncing around and hasn't, cracked or lived up to the potential that maybe he planned on having, or the journey that he planned on. I thought it was cool. He was pretty open about it. So
you know what I was really impressed by was the fact that he left the steaks on ready to go for the entire podcast. He's like, yeah, I just got him salt and pepper, just sitting there waiting for the grill. Like, are you kidding me? I'd be putting those bad boys in the grill. Say, see you later, biscuit boys.
Yeah. Same. You don't wait. Food is more important than anything.
Especially, I think he had T-bone, or did he have ribeye steaks? I can't remember. He had good steaks though. He's got money though. We don't have money.
He can afford nice steaks.
Yeah, we're an inside rump roast kind of guy. He's a rib roast or a ribeye. He's a prime rib kind of guy. We can't afford that. We're at Walmart. He's shopping at Save On Foods, Whole Foods. Sorry, the American version.
Chicken thighs. Little deal on chicken thighs. That's what I get.
You think he's a chicken thigh guy? I think he's more of a breast guy.
I'm a chicken thigh guy. I like
very
thighs.
underrated. Very
I like
underrated.
a good thigh. They're juicy. They're tasty. There's a lot of fat in there.
That fat's underrated. People are all grossed out by the skin, man. The skin is the best
part.
It's
the best part. Love me some skin.
I like getting a little bit of skin. You like getting some skin?
Oh, yeah.
Something my dad used to tell me all the time is, speaking of which, actually, you might like this one. So my dad and I are hanging out today, and he wants to go discount bargain shopping at some place. And this is something my dad's always done since I was a kid. He loves a good deal. Doesn't even need to have it, and he'll buy it if it's a good deal. And we go into this place. My dad shit his drawers right in the middle of the aisle. And in Canada, you still got to wear a mask in all these places. And I had my mask on and everything. I still got a good whiff of it down Main Street. It was horrible. It was rancid, and we had to leave.
He farted or legitimately shit his pants? There was shit.
I don't know. My dad's getting up there in age. It could go either way.
Oh, geez. He needs a diaper?
Yeah.
Dude, you think maybe we could get sponsored by his diaper company?
Sponsored by Depends, because they have outfitted my dad for shitting his drawers in public like last week. My dad's gonna text me and be like, "Son, why are you telling people about this about me pooping
Why
my
are you
pants?"
telling them I shit myself?
You know what? I love my dad. God bless his soul. However, he always loves it. You know, when I pump his tires in the podcast. But if I ever say anything negative, he's like, "Why would you tell people about that?"
That's anyone. Huh? No one likes being talked about negatively. Gas us up. Tell me how great I am. I don't want to hear about my mistakes and how bad I am. That's no.
Hey, speaking of gas, guests. Let's talk guests for a quick second, because obviously podcast is going up, video format or the audio version.
Yeah.
I am unavailable. I am remote. There's no service. I'm on train in the mountains doing whatever. Maybe I'm in Vancouver this point. I don't know. But we want to know, guest-wise, who do you want to hear? You know, we've had some great guests. Last week was Jonas Enroth. Week before, well, I mean, assuming Jonas shows up for that interview. We haven't recorded that yet, to be quite frank with you. Zach this week. You know, Michael Downey, you know, Cascasul, even though he's charging kids money for podcast appearances. I heard does he sell drugs to kids too?
Might as well.
Yeah. Brad Martin sells drugs. No, Casimir Cascasul sells drugs to kids behind the Bridgestone Arena parking lot.
In podcast form.
Yes.
Yeah.
Saved herself a lawsuit there.
This podcast is a drug, you know?
It's entertainment.
It's in your ears. It gets you high.
I'm just happy that you saved us from a lawsuit. You know what? The guy hasn't replied to my text in a while, but he definitely won't be after this week and last week's podcast, or the week before that.
He hates us now.
That's okay, though. That's okay. He's a little sensitive anyway. But yeah, guest-wise, we'd be curious to hear, you know, who you want to have us have on. You know, is it somebody I know, somebody Pat knows? We tried having Jeremy Swayman, no reply. Tried having the guys on the bench. You know, Nasher61, Kevin Weeks. Kevin Weeks, dude, has been really bad about that. I don't know what his problem is. I've messaged him 5 or 6 times, just no reply. But if you ever need something on his behalf, he's always quick to be pretty trigger happy and, you know, send me a message. So I don't know, man. Would love to have some good guests on, and we'd be curious to hear what you have to say about the guests coming up. Do you even want to hear the guests? You just want me and Pat to
Oh yeah, or do you like us slanging biz?
Yeah.
Let us know.
Slanging biscuits, slanging lawnmowers, slanging all of that. That's what we do. And you know, it's been kind of crazy that we're almost 20 episodes in. 20 weeks, 5 months. We've been doing this.
Isn't that weird? God, I'm sick of you.
Once a week. That's all you have to stomach through is one episode.
I don't know. That is funny how fast that goes by. Eh?
You know, and I don't have this come across the wrong way. When we first started the podcast, like I think of everything from like a business perspective first that I do online, because this is my job. And I saw glimmers and like bits and pieces of like the success you were having on your own podcast, Behind the Cage, but I didn't see any consistency, and I was worried about.
Oh, none.
I was worried. I was like, damn, you know, like I'm getting involved with Pat. I'm going to be promoting this podcast, telling people it's great, which I still think it is, kind of.
It's amazing.
And it's okay. And
it's the best.
I'm like, is Pat going to flake on me and bail on me 3 episodes in? That's what, you know, I told Pat before we started. If we're going to do this, 10 episodes minimum. If we suck and nobody listens, okay. We got to do 10.
I gave you my word.
And we've done another 10.
Dude, it's a reasonable thing, because Behind the Cage was super like inconsistent, but it was more that trying to do it with Ed. He was in Latvia, and then it would just get hard. He wasn't too motivated to do it, and I don't blame him, because it's not his thing, you know. Like, we do online, like we do videos. We're very motivated by this shit, so it's easier for us to be consistent. Whereas him, it's more like, yeah, I'll go chat, and I'm like, I like doing it, but I'm not so invested where I'm gonna like, you know, treat it as if it's a job type thing, you know. So it just got a little tricky, but hey,
I think
I'm here. I'm consistent.
I have my guys showed up on time. You know, for me, I think it was more so a matter of I've had success on YouTube to date, little bits and pieces of success, and I've seen a lot of people say like Trav's a one-trick pony. You know, he had a little bit of success, he hasn't been able to replicate that, and part of that was my own ego saying, you know what, I'm going to prove to you that I can get a podcast, you know, with myself or with somebody else. I'm going to take a podcast and we're going to make it grow. And here we are. You know, we got about 1,000 listeners every, you know, 1,000 plus, 1,000 under, depending on how good the episode is.
Yeah.
Every week, which is awesome. We got sponsors, and you know, we've been doing well so far. We had Zach Fucale on today. I've been kind of amazed at the amount of people, credible people, that have wanted to come on the podcast so far. Would you not agree with that?
No, I do. I think it's solid. I think off to a solid start, especially not in season. You know,
Yeah. And we're
I think
quiet.
yeah. So I think it's a good start. I think it only goes up. Just takes time. It's different. It's something different, you know, something new.
Yeah, I tend to agree as well. And hey, cheers to 10 episodes, cheers to 20, and cheers to the next 10 for episode 30. Hey, episode 30, we'll both be into our seasons by then, assuming we don't die in the plane crash over to Sweden or on the bus right over to, Worcester, Mass, or
Is that true? 10 weeks. Fuck yeah, because that'd be 10 weeks from now. Yeah, probably damn near. You'll be in Sweden. I think the coast starts in October.
Yeah, we start in September, so we'll be well on our way, and you'll be just just scratching the surface tip of the iceberg there. So hey, cheers to that. Cheers to a couple episodes. Yeah, man. On behalf of Pat and myself, we always thank you for listening. Whether you're on Apple, apparently people more listen to Spotify more than Apple for our podcast. So you Spotify people, thank you.
Yep. Or if you're on YouTube and you're in the video version now.
The video version is done very well. Yeah.
How's it going? Yeah. Good. We like that.
People watching the video version of the podcast, which is awesome. People say that it's better when you see Pat's facial expressions for the dumb shit that comes out of my mouth. So hey, that's great. No matter where you listen, no matter who you are, whether you're, whatever you identify as, whatever you are, I don't care. We're happy to have you here.
Yeah.
We'd like to have you again next week. Every Thursday.
Stop in.
Yep.
Come
Peek in. Maybe subscribe on YouTube. Maybe follow us on podcast, and we'll have you in for the next one. You got a guest you want us to have on, send them a message. Follow up with us. Give us a shout. And, what do you say? Next episode you hear will be, I'll be in Vancouver, halfway to Sweden, en route. And Pat will be on his way from misery to happiness to being as well for his upcoming season. Slangin The Bizkit, episode 19, Blurry Puddle of Mud. Enjoy.